Welcome to Command HQ, Agent X. You're laughing over there. What are you laughing about?
Dude, I'm laughing about your music playing in the background.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Playing some Barry Manilow or something. I don't know what's going on with you.
Oh, you know what? It was the wrong selection there, so I just changed it.
Alright. Dude, I don't know what to say. It's a slow news day today.
Well, the government's about to shut down. There's Zelensky coming to town asking for 23 billion and getting 300 billion from Biden. But apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene has thrown a fit and somehow clawed back some of the 300 million that was kind of attached to this bill coming through. And I don't know, I don't really know what's going on, but it sounds like there's some infighting, but the government's definitely going to shut down. And we have Canadian Prepper, as I was telling you about, is talking about these embassies stocking up on supplies. We have some major military movements around the country, and then we have this sort of escalating war between Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, Canada has apparently accused India of killing a Sikh leader and saying that might cause the stream to get shut down, but India has responded by negating Canadian visas for the time being or something, so there's some diplomatic issue there. And then what else do we have? The strategic oil reserves are probably at their lowest level in years.
Oh, yeah, they're at an all-time low.
And energy prices are increasing, and Biden has not refilled the oil reserves down in Louisiana and Texas. And the next administration, or Biden at the end here, if the Department of Energy wants to purchase and replace any of the outflows of the strategic petroleum reserves, it's going to be astronomically expensive at this point, considering the price of oil. So everything they're trying to do with this green energy movement is backfiring.
Well, the intention is to drive up the price of oil and crash the economy, so that we can move to UBI and more, more communist economic system. You should play that YouTube short that I gave you today.
Yeah, let me find that. Was it the last one you sent? Shoot.
No, I don't know.
Hold on. Let me find it. No, that wasn't that one. Good thing I didn't play that one. Next one up. Okay, here it is.
America is one of the most corrupt countries. Look at this guy.
When bro tired of shop.
America is one of the most corrupt countries. Look at this guy, president. Biggest criminal I've ever seen. He's terrible, man. The reason I know that is because I'm a capitalist. Biden is a communist. So in 2020, Biden gets elected. He beats my friend Donald Trump, very good friend of mine. We're capitalists. But the communists and the socialists and the crooks hate him. I'm an oil guy. I own oil wells like Mr. Tata. See, the rich own commodities. There was a pipeline running from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. Biden cut that off. What does that mean? I was selling oil in those days for $30 a barrel, went to $130 a barrel. That's dollars. I knew exactly what Biden was doing. He was going to destroy the middle class. So there'd be two classes of people, rich, everybody else poor. So Biden is one of these guys here. And this man here is a capitalist. It's very bad in America, but I don't tell you that. America's one of the most corrupt countries. Look at this guy,
So it's
President
playing
Biden,
again here,
biggest
but
criminal I've ever seen. He's a terrible, man. The reason I know that is
Robert
because
Kiyosaki,
Biden is a communist.
author of
in
the famous
2020,
Rich Man,
Biden gets elected,
Poor Dad.
he beats my
Sorry,
When bro
Rich
tired of
Dad, Poor
America's one of the
Dad
most corrupt countries. Look
series. I hate these shorts. It's hard to turn them on and off. Saying that Biden is one of the most corrupt presidents in history, and that he is deliberately, causing this economic situation and trying to crash the economy. You sent me this, Agent X.
Yeah, no, I mean,
specifically-
he lays it out pretty clearly, right? Trump had tons of permits, was permitting offshore drilling, and as soon as Biden got into office, he cut off a lot of those drilling leases. He stopped the the XL pipeline, and just drove the price of oil up, and it's going up and up and up because we're basically, and all we're doing is lining the pockets of Russia, right? Those sanctions weren't very effective, particularly when oil goes to $130 a barrel, and the rest of the world is trading with them. So yeah.
Yeah, curiously, at a time when the United States is at the highest debt level it's ever been, I think it's at $33 trillion, and it went up $3 trillion in like the last year, which is insane. And interest rates are pretty high, and apparently the buyers of government bonds, China being the biggest purchaser, they're not going to be buying these bonds if we get into a conflict over Taiwan, especially considering that the U.S. government won't be able to pay interest on those bonds when we get into this energy situation where this inflationary pressure creeps up based on high energy prices. And then, the government defaults, and we're in this situation where suddenly we go from the petrodollar system being useful to this country to suddenly the BRICS coming in, and then ushering in this new wave of a UBI or a CBDC, something like that, all in coordination. And they're going to kind of there's going to be a point here. It's almost like the point of no return, or the event horizon in the economy, where things just collapse and it becomes impossible to avoid from a structural government high level perspective. And from a citizen point of view, people like us or viewers out there, I mean, the only thing we can rely on is ourselves. And so getting out into the country, learning how to ride horses, because you're not going to be able to drive your car when there's no oil, there's no gas. And that's kind of the point we're going to reach. And again, this has all been predicted. So no one knows when it's going to happen, but we're in a situation now, especially with the strategic oil reserves at such a low point that, and it's not going to be publicized over the radio or TV when things like this are happening. In fact, it's probably going to be the opposite, just like the pandemic. So who knows, Agent X, I mean, I think Robert Kiyosaki broke it down very simply here. And Biden truly is, especially, and we had the Menendez indictment today too, Agent X. You probably saw that, but
that's the second time he's been indicted. I think the first time it was either a hung jury, he got acquitted, but it wasn't for the same conduct. I just sent you an image in the chat. Let me look it up.
So the Menendez indictment seems like a way for the Department of Justice, and especially Merrick Garland, considering he testified yesterday or the day before, to carve out kind of this separation between the executive and limiting prosecution of Biden with respect to Hunter Biden and saying, well, we are prosecuting corruption. We're going to get rid of Senator Menendez. But politically, they're only doing this because they have a Democratic governor in New Jersey who's going to then appoint another Democrat to take that Senate position, and then kind of like throwing Menendez under the bus and saying, okay, well, so it's kind of a way to protect Biden.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They were really going after him in 2013, and the case dragged on, and he stayed in the Senate, and no one really said anything. I remember it was kind of strange. Like, they forced Al Franken out of the Senate for, taking a
Kind of a
inappropriate
ridiculous,
photograph.
inappropriate, ridiculous photo,
But they won't kick a guy out or force the guy to resign after he's been served with multiple corruption indictments, or an indictment for multiple counts of corruption and bribery. I mean, it's kind of weird, and he stayed in the Senate. And I guess now they're going after him. I don't think it means much one way or the other. I think this dude is just straight out corrupt.
yeah, well, comes on the heels of Merrick Garland testifying, and it seems as if it was orchestrated for this indictment to come out after he testified, so he wouldn't have to answer questions, at least during the congressional testimony. However, of course, Merrick Garland would have said, this is an active investigation, I can't comment on it, or he would
No,
just
I think they
say,
would have. I don't even think they would have bothered with it, because I think it'll be sort of. I don't like we
take
heard
it
about
over.
it today, right? But I don't think we'll hear too much more about it. I mean, the dude was indicted, and it took him 5 years to get it resolved, and nobody nobody even remembers it. So I think it's going to be a non-issue. I think one of the things I saw an article a little bit ago that even if the government shuts down, the government has exempted funds to the Ukraine. So we're still going to be giving Ukraine money during the midst of a government shutdown.
Oh my God, are you serious? So while
No,
American taxpayers are deprived of a functioning government and funds being transmitted to them, whether that's, whatever money is paid out by the government to them, I mean, Social Security and stuff, that'll still get paid, Medicare, that'll be covered. But still, I mean, it's just a slap in the face to the American taxpayer, considering that all this outflow of money is going to Ukraine. Meanwhile, we're not getting a functioning federal government. And
Yeah, man,
everything
I'm
is
sending you the tweet.
eroding and crumbling before our eyes.
Here, I'm sending you the tweet right now. I guess they found it out yesterday, but here's the tweet. Dude, that photo's awful, man. I can't believe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they prosecuted the woman who found that diary too. How convenient.
I know they viciously went after her, but nobody looks after. I mean, obviously, it has to be a somewhat reliable. I mean, claim, given that she wrote it in her diary. But yeah, nobody goes after Biden after very clear
Prosecutorial misconduct. Yeah, Biden goes after anyone who comes close to criticizing his family or him. I mean, Trump, obviously, that's one. But, what about this defenseless woman who he's prosecuting for simply finding the diary because she was in halfway house and left the diary underneath the bed? By the way,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Did they ever resolve the charges against that woman, or are they still pending? I don't know.
No one knows. I mean, we should really do kind of a write-up on that to see where that went. I think they were pretty vicious too. They charged her with the felony or something. I can't remember. Maybe it was just a gross
Yeah.
misdemeanor, but it was very, very retaliatory.
Oh, here you go. Amy Harris faces sentencing and theft. This was just published 7 hours ago.
Oh my God, we were right on it.
Prosecutor
Speak-
said the woman Amy Harris sold. Here, I'll send you the link to it. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Let's go to.
In a blistering sentencing memo filed in Manhattan on Wednesday, federal prosecutors said the woman, Amy Harris, was unrepentant and had no respect for the law, describing her conduct as far outside of lawful political activism of any kind. That's wild.
Amy Harris. Let's see. We'll do it live. Okay, here we go.
We'll do it live. Damn it.
Prosecutor said the woman, Amy Harris, sold the diary to Project Veritas. Remember, Project Veritas went under yesterday as well, under financial strain. So again, this is like all connected up. They took down Project Veritas, and of course they're prosecuting this woman, claiming that, you know, Project Veritas was engaged in some sort of act of theft or whatever it was, I can't remember, to enrich herself and hurt President Biden. Can you believe that? Can you believe this?
That's
This
wild.
is such
Project
a lie.
Veritas.
Like how?
Oh my
how-
God.
This is such
Dude,
a violation of your First Amendment right to criticize the president, and to enrich herself because she sold a diary that she found.
Dude, that's
It's
wild.
so wild. And it's just I feel bad for Amy Harris too.
That's wild, though, that Project Veritas suspended all its operations.
Yeah, Project Veritas is dead.
I mean, were they putting stuff out after O'Keefe left? I don't think that they were.
Maybe like things that were kind of like loose that just were kind of left there, but no, sounds like they didn't really come out with anything major.
Dude, how much does it piss you off that the government's going to shut down and we're still going to be giving money to Zelensky, who's got who has the second highest body count?
It's got a higher body count than MAGA Queen.
Well, lower. MAGA Queen exceeds.
Zelensky, you really got to wonder how he found himself in this position, not just the election in Ukraine, but like how he's able. There's some other force at play here, because this cannot just be Zelensky. I realize he's a grifter, but he is kind of the straw man in this entire situation. He's a scapegoat. There's some other force at play here, because there's no way that some 5'5" or 5'7" little Ukrainian dude can come away with billions and billions of dollars from the European Union, from the United States, some of the greatest powers ever to exist on this planet, and he's able to dupe them and collect probably $1 trillion at this point. Who knows? Who really knows? There's something else going on here, and I think we're kind of seeing the side effects or the symptoms of that, which is this deliberate crumbling of our society, whether it's the culture war, this DOJ persecution of the average citizen, or just all of our money being funneled and siphoned to these various foreign wars. But this is one of the most egregious ones, because the State Department has admitted in cables that have been leaked that this is a way to, quote, weaken Russia. Why do we want to weaken Russia? We don't want to weaken Russia. I mean, there's no serious need to weaken Russia, which is arguably the second or third most powerful country on the planet with nuclear capabilities. I mean, this is just a way to annihilate civilization. That's the way I see it. And you know, the unnecessary injuries that these poor Ukrainians and Russians are sustaining to fight each other, and you know, under this false assertion that Russia is invading. Russia shouldn't have invaded, but at the same time, I mean, they provoked Russia. What do they expect?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of
Dude.
like throwing a punch at Mike Tyson. What do you expect?
No, I agree. Dude, I gotta go to bed. I'm about to pass out. It's been a long week, but dude, before we go, did you get the new iPhone 15 today, launch day?
No, are you gonna get it?
Dude, I'm not an iPhone guy.
I don't know. Maybe
Not
AirPods because I wear them, but that's not it.
Yeah,
I have an old
more
phone. You know,
convenient.
there's really no need to update your phone.
Stuff is so incremental these days, right? Like, I don't know.
Before you
Like
go, well,
yeah.
that's true, incremental. But before you go, we kind of predicted the whole Russell Brand thing. I mean, you, Agent X, brought up the fact that there's something else going on here, and you know, we kind of, I mean, we actually did it live. I didn't think about that before. But it was a UK online safety bill. Obviously, they were trying to censor Russell Brand, so you kind of caught that, Agent X.
Of course, they're trying to censor him. You know, he's got 6.6 million viewers, and he's speaking out and basically exposing government corruption. I mean, just putting the truth out there. So of course they're going to go after him. He's probably, you know, going to turn into a
Julian Assange.
yeah. And I bet you anything that they concoct and bring some charge against him, and throw him in jail. I guarantee it.
I feel like they're trying to do something like that as well. And I told you that they're trying to force him out of the UK. I don't know if he's had citizenship in the United States, but it seems like, especially in the US, the climate right now is a little more amenable to prosecuting people who are accused of conduct like this. So I think what they're trying to do is potentially like push him out of the UK into a jurisdiction that's a little more friendly to doing these kinds of prosecutions, whether that's West Hollywood, or, you know, California is pretty communist at this point. I mean, they could easily just catch him in California, something like that. I don't really know. I mean, who really knows? They could easily just prosecute him in the UK. But you know what happened with Kevin Spacey, for example? They prosecuted him, and you know, they didn't get a favorable result. So yeah, and it, you know, it's unfortunate too, because if he's a symbol of free speech in the UK, there's a serious problem, because there's not that many who are willing to challenge the status quo over there. You know, I mean, Russell Brand obviously is a name that you can think of off the top of your head, but I mean, who else can you think of? Can't really. So, anyways,
Hold on.
Agent X. Yep.
Oh, I was gonna try to. Hold on one thing. Oh fuck. Trying to get this clip. Hold on. 1 second. Let me get this clip.
Hey, by the way, if you're out there, please do follow the Twitter account and like any of the videos you see that are posted. I think we're posting this right now, so and any likes on this video would be really great too.
Oh man, can't find it. Oh, here it is. Let me send it to you. Tell me what you think of this exchange here.
$10,000 people illegally cross the border in a single day.
So what do you call it, Peter, when GOP puts forth wait, no, you can't.
Karine?
I'm answering. Okay, we're gonna move
You're
on.
answering
No,
the question with a question? Okay.
no, we're moving on.
Karine,
Moving.
please.
In the back.
Now, you said you were stopping the
in
flow
back.
at the border.
No, I
10,000
tried to
migrants.
answer, Peter, I
Okay.
tried to answer the question, you stopped me. Let's go. That's so.
What do you
Dude,
call
what do you
it?
think of that clip?
Well, as I've said this before, she avoids any questions that are counter to what she wants to talk about. So,
She doesn't answer questions. Like they were getting onto her for a while because she'd have to flip through her book for basically anything that was asked. But no, it's interesting that she won't
She's-
answer questions like that.
so like Peter Ducey does this, but Peter Ducey isn't assertive enough. I mean, he needs to really go in there harder because what Jean-Pierre AGP, whatever the hell her name is doing to Peter Ducey and Fox News and anyone who challenges her is frankly outrageous. I mean, particularly considering what Trump and Kayleigh McEnany faced in that press room. And she comes off as so arrogant. That's the thing that just gnaws at me. And it's like she only answers questions from women and from mainstream or legacy news outlets. And it's almost like they're prearranged questions. And then Peter Ducey comes in there and he needs to be stronger. We have 10,000 migrants crossing the border, and she's not only lacking self-awareness in how arrogant she comes across, no pun intended, but there's thousands of these migrants coming, and what Hochul did in New York and what Biden did with an executive order giving these Venezuelans the ability to work in the country, what was it, like 600,000 or something? Giving them work permits. An election is right around the corner, and we're giving this country away, and we're not impeaching Biden. We're not impeaching Mayorkas.
Dude, it's terrible.
Outrageous. People really need to be up in arms. I mean, you said you want to go, Agent X. Lastly, you sent me that picture of Fetterman wearing a hoodie, or you were talking about it, and we've discussed what this means for the country, but I think you said that people should be more outraged.
Yeah, they should. I mean, the so-called greatest deliberative body in human history, and this guy showing up in shorts and a mechanic's shirt. It's ridiculous. I don't know. We can talk about it more tomorrow. I'm not feeling so well right now, but we can have a longer stream, get a little more organized, and talk about it more tomorrow.
Okay, we will do that. You guys have a good weekend, and please follow, subscribe, and like the video. And again, over on Twitter, if you could follow that account, that'd be great too, because then we can kind of get our message out without being censored by YouTube. All right, see you later, bye.
Thanks for watching Command HQ with Brock and Agent X. We'll see you next time.